Hey guys, and welcome back. And today we're going to be talking about 5 matchups in college basketball and who we like against the spread. And this is going to be for February 25th, 2017. For more of this pick video content in the future, you can click that subscribe button. And also, if you're interested in getting our daily free pick over at our main website, you can head on over to stumpthespread.com, and I will link Stump the Spread in the video description. And you can also get over there by clicking on the logo in the top right-hand corner of this video. So first game that I want to touch on in today's video is going to be between MTSU and UAB. Middle Tennessee State really doing a great job for Conference USA in the NCAA tournament last year, picking up that incredible upset win against Michigan State. Coming into this year, MTSU brought back quite a bit of veteran talent and experience, and Middle Tennessee State has parlayed that into an even more successive campaign than they were able to have last year. MTSU even being discussed as a potential at-large team if they're unable to win the CUSA tournament. Middle Tennessee State knows that every game is important for them. They're going to be giving a full effort again today. And, even though MTSU doesn't always necessarily put up the greatest numbers on the offensive side of the ball, this has been a great defensive team throughout the regular season. And if they are able to make the NCAA tournament, they could be a really big thorn in the side of a higher seeded team and that 11-12 seed range potentially there for the Blue Raiders. Going on the road today against a UAB squad that also brings back quite a bit of experience this year. UAB was a popular pick to compete for the Conference USA regular season title this year. Unfortunately for the Blazers, they haven't been able to quite live up to those expectations. UAB's been rather big disappointment in the conference this year. UAB has shown at times that they can compete. They went on a pretty decent run there in the middle part of conference play, but UAB's just had a tough time with consistency. UAB getting this game on their home court. The home fans really looking forward to coming out to this one as UAB takes on the top team in the conference. We do expect this to be another defensive battle between these two squads, and with points coming at a premium, these 6 to 6.5 points that the Blazers are currently getting on their home court are going to have a little bit more value. As a result, we feel like UAB getting those points in this one is going to be the better value bet against the spread. Moving on down here over to the ACC. We have a rematch here between a game that we saw a few weeks back between Syracuse and Louisville. Syracuse has been picking up the bulk of their strong resume building wins on their home court, not having quite as much success on the road, but still able to pick up some road wins in conference play here and there. Syracuse at home against Louisville. They dug themselves an early hole. The Orange kept battling back throughout. They were able to push the game in extra time, but Syracuse did come up against Louisville just short in that one as they went on to lose to the Cardinals. Syracuse in their last outing picked up a really nice win against Duke, now heading out on the road here against a Louisville squad that has a very strong home court advantage. The Louisville Cardinals really coming to play this year, putting up some very strong results throughout ACC play. Really, the ACC as a whole has been having just a tremendous season, and it's going to be very interesting to see just how many teams the ACC is able to get in the NCAA tournament. A lot of people think they could get 10, and then once they get into the NCAA tournament, what they're able to do. The ACC as a conference as a whole had quite a bit of success last year, and Louisville was actually held out of the NCAA tournament last year given their self-imposed sanctions. This Louisville squad is really hungry to get into the big dance and prove what they're able to do. Louisville has strengths on both sides of the ball. They really like to build off of their defense, but their offense has even shown some pretty solid improvement throughout the regular season. Although we do like Louisville to go on to win this one, we feel like with this spread moving up to that double-digit range right now, sitting at 10 points, the Syracuse Orange have some decent value here, getting those 10 points in what could be more of a defensive battle, even more so than what we saw in the first meeting between these groups. But if it is played in that 60-point range, it could be a little tough for Louisville to go on to cover a spread of this size. So we are going to go ahead and take Syracuse with the points as the better value bet against the spread. And right below that, we have Cincinnati versus UCF over in the American Athletic Conference. Both of these teams play off of their defense. Both of these squads rank in the top 10 in the nation in total defense. Cincinnati, however, they've definitely shown better on the offensive side of the ball this year than Central Florida. Earlier in conference play at home, Cincinnati played a defensive game against UCF, and in what was a fairly competitive game, Cincinnati was able to pull out that win on their home court as expected. Going to be a little bit more difficult today going out on the road. Cincinnati have been putting up some great results this year, and Cincinnati not having all that much to play for at this point in terms of making the NCAA tournament, but obviously the Bearcats still trying to push for that AAC regular season title. This is one of those games where points are going to be coming at a premium. UCF, they're healthy, and they've really been putting up some nice results as of late in their last outing on the road, able to grab a nice win against the Temple Owls, Central Florida. We'll look to keep this one in, maybe even potentially that 50-point range for both of these squads. And behind their home court advantage, we feel like UCF getting these 5 points is going to be the better value bet against the spread in this one. And really, given how strong this Central Florida defense has been throughout the year, this is definitely a team to potentially keep an eye on in the AAC postseason tournament. Teams that slow the pace of play and are used to playing in the half court can benefit from that as we head into tournament play, where teams tend to slow things up a bit and really value their possessions more. All right, a couple more matchups I want to talk about in this video. Moving on down here, another AAC matchup. We have Houston versus Memphis. Houston kind of sitting on the bubble right now. They really needed that win about a week ago against SMU at home, but unfortunately for the Houston Cougars, they lost that one in their last outing. The Cougars had a battle on their hands against UConn, especially in the first half. The Houston Cougars did not look all that great against UConn, but really came out and played very well in the second half as they went on to really blitz out of the gate there in the second half as they went on to build a rather significant lead and then hold on there in the end and beat the UConn Huskies. That was a nice win there for Houston, but right now in terms of their overall resume, Houston probably on the outside looking in. Other than the top 2 teams in the AAC, below that, the teams that are sitting in that, mid to upper tier range of the AAC don't necessarily have the greatest shot right now to get into the big dance. But it does seem like the bubble this year is about a mile wide and an inch deep, so a lot of basketball left to be played. Houston obviously needing to probably win out through the rest of the regular season and do some damage there in the AAC tournament. Going to get a tough challenge here today on the road against Memphis. Memphis Tigers not necessarily putting up the results that they wanted to this year, but they have been a factor at times in the AAC. And they have a pretty solid home court advantage. Earlier in conference play, Memphis did go on the road and beat Houston in what was one of the more impressive results this season for Memphis. Both of these teams, again, in the AAC, really leaning on their defenses for success. And this conference has just really put a premium more so on the defensive side of the ball this year than anything. But we feel like Memphis, again, behind their home crowd advantage today, getting the about 1.5 points right now is going to be the better value bet against the spread. And just one more game I want to touch on in today's video. That's going to be between USC and Arizona State. USC, we really like the makeup of this team. They're very unselfish. They can spread the ball around to about 5 or 6 different offensive threats. And right now USC does have 4 players averaging over 12 points per game. Southern Cal is a very unselfish group. They love sharing the ball and spreading around to all their different options, and really what they tend to do is not necessarily lean on one particular guy on any given day. It's really more based on matchups that USC feels like they can exploit. USC going on the road today and getting a bit more of a manageable matchup. Southern Cal in their last 3 outings going against Oregon, UCLA, and Arizona, really running through the gauntlet there in the Pac-12, actually getting a chance to maybe bounce back and pick up a win here against Arizona State. In their last outing, Arizona State did not look very good as they fell on the road to Washington State, their second defeat on the year to Washington State. Arizona State remains in rebuild mode under head coach Hurley. And, the Sun Devils not necessarily having the kind of success that they were hoping for this year. Arizona State has a decent home court advantage, but, this Sun Devil squad, they're pretty much just prepping right now for the Pac-12 tournament. And they know that if they don't win the Pac-12 tournament, they're not going to be going to any postseason play beyond that. Southern Cal, on the other hand, trying to lock up their place in the NCAA tournament and, picking up those 3 straight losses against the top 3 teams in the Pac-12. The Trojans should be pretty hungry today to get back on track with a win. We feel like USC can go on to outpace this Arizona State squad. And, Southern Cal does bring the edge on the defensive side of the ball into this one, and both teams have been pretty strong offensively this year, but we do like Southern Cal to go on to pull away in the end as they go on to win and cover this manageable spread. So those are the games I wanted to touch on in today's video. Again, if you're interested in getting our daily free play, you can head on over to our main website, stumpthespread.com. And also, if you want to get our premium college basketball content, we've been having quite a bit of success with that as of late. Over the last couple days, we've gone 8-3 against the spread with our top confidence 5 units bets over there in college basketball, so you can check that out as well if you're interested. And if you want more of this pick video content in the future, you can click that subscribe button. So thanks guys for stopping on in, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.